You know what else I wanted to talk about, though? When we talk about big gyms versus a boutique gym, I had a couple of experiences in big gyms before I realized that's not the right place for me, where I was injured. I went to some of these boot camps. Now, I want to tell you and you're the perfect person, and people out there, so I can tell you my boot camp experience as well. So, you hear about all these boot camps and you're thinking, wow, boot camp. Okay, that sounds like something that would instantly make me better than I was when I walked through that door. Because, you think of Marines and Army and
20 million pull-ups and 30,000 push-ups.
Right, and those guys look so good. You're like, wow, that's what I want. So I go into this class and it's a boot camp and everybody's pushing everybody. Well, that's all good as long as you can do these things.
Yeah.
However, what they had me do was lift this tire. Now, this was this huge tire. If you can imagine, let me draw this picture for you. You know those big tractor trailers? They have these huge tires on them that have lots of ridges in them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had this laying on the ground, and they're all yelling, you can do it, you can do it, you can. And I'm lifting, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this. And they're all, come on, come on. Well, I finally lifted up, and they did something to my stomach. I tore something.
Yeah.
That I was out of commission literally for 6 months. It took 6 months. I couldn't bend. I couldn't breathe properly. And it was stupid. There's no reason I should have even attempted that. It was out of my league. It was out of my range.
One of the things we always try to preach is don't lift with your ego.
Right.
Live smart. And that's kind of a big one where people just love stacking plates on, which is great. It looks good for the picture. But at the end of the day, are you really doing damage to the muscle the correct way? Right. And in your case, you probably tore an abdominal, or you can even done the worst and hurt your back. So without lifting with proper form, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Right.
With those tractor tailors, I've done them too. In training, just kind of messing around. But you got to have the right technique. Hips down. Get down low, get under it. Don't lift. Lift with your legs, not with your back.
Right.
We have in our gym we have a sled. We like stacking little weights on those. But again, you customize it to what the client can do or what the person can do more than anything, because you don't want to kill them.
Right. Well, don't you? And also, when you want to build muscle and when you're building muscle, you don't build muscle in one lift.
No, not at all.
And people have that wrong idea that they're going to go to the gym for a week and they're going to, they're going to look like Popeye.
They're going to do that 1 rep max and lift it raw. Boom,
right.
Throw the thing down.
And the muscles are going to be bulging out of their shirt. What does it take to build muscle?
To build muscle, you have to technically destroy the muscle. You're tearing apart muscle fibers. And what happens when you tear apart the muscle fibers, they rebuild. And when they rebuild, they rebuild a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger with the interconnection. So when you're lifting, sometimes it depends on cadence, sometimes it depends on reps. It really depends on what you're really looking for. If you really want to get big, you're looking more for hypertrophy, which is a swelling of the muscle and engorgement. If you're looking to kind of lean out, you want to go a little bit higher weight, a little less weight, higher reps.
Right.
And that's just going to build more lean muscle. And there's a bunch of different techniques with your pace. Some people love throwing the weights up, as fast as they can on the bench press, and you're not doing anything. You're using momentum in that case. One of the things I love to do is 4-second positive, 6-second negatives.
Right.
4 seconds on the way up, 6 seconds on the way down on the bench press, and it just creates more tension in the muscle fibers, and it makes it help build and create a more sustainable, build for as far as muscle size and strength goes.
Well, that's important. And I know your gym caters to all ages.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I mean, we cater from young athletes to senior citizens that are just looking to do balance work. I have a couple of clients that I love. I mean, they love working with them. They're a little bit older, and all they want to do is just not fall.
Right.
What I always tell them is that's balance. Balance is the ability to catch yourself without falling, whether it's putting your foot down, whether it's catching yourself on a plane or something, and that's very important. I mean, sidewalks aren't even. We don't live on a flat earth.
Right.
And everything is, rigid. Everything's moving, and like you said, you fall, you got hurt. How long were you out of commission?
6 months.
6 months. That's why
6 months.
I have a client who fell before she came to us. She was out for 7 months. Broke her
And
neck.
I was really out of commission. I lifted that, and I knew right after I lifted that something happened. The next day I literally couldn't get out of bed for a week.
Yeah, see, that's just everybody in that, mindset mentality where everybody's just pushing towards helping you without actually teaching you and guiding you how to.
Right.
You probably could have lifted it because you did it.
Right.
But if they would have just changed 2-3 little points on the way you were lifting it,
Right.
would have made all the difference in the world.
and they were so quick to video it, and you know, they wanted to make such a big deal of it that I was able to do it, but I really got hurt. And that was my turning point when I said, you know what, this is not the way to do this. It's silly, it's foolish, and you need people around you who care about what you're doing.